I remember a young man, he came to me, it's like the Friday before an ACT, and he said, Mr. Martin, do you have any tips or tricks for me? Because I'm like taking the ACT tomorrow or something. And so I already knew that the reputation of this guy, because I taught him and he was kind of lazy, didn't really do his homework all the time and that kind of a thing. And so he was probably a little bit taken aback when I said, well, not really. The question's kind of a funny one, it implies that there's some kind of like a magic formula or some kind of a detectable pattern in like previous ACTs. Things like when you see a semicolon, then there's a 75% chance that the answer actually involves a semicolon because the ACT only uses semicolons to actually ask questions about semicolons, or something like, 25% of the time when you see a math question that has this word that begins it, then the answer is going to be B. I made that up because 25% of the time doesn't make much sense. Whatever. The point is, we're looking for some kind of a little magic trick to maybe just, without any effort, increase our ACT scores really fast so our parents are happy or something. So instead of learning gimmicks about math or gimmicks about English or those kinds of things, which really, if you're the ACT, if those are really true, you're going to want to get rid of them because you're trying to create a test that doesn't have any of those kinds of conceivable patterns in them. But I have a better idea, okay? My better idea is pretty simple, and it's this. Why don't we just learn what a semicolon is for? It's actually not very difficult at all to learn what you use a semicolon for. That way, you can get questions about semicolons correct 100% of the time. Here's probably my favorite gimmick or myth, though. Mr. Martin, I heard from my friends, cousins, friends, teachers, sisters, dogs, brothers, owners, nieces, college professors, sisters, daughters, math tutor, that the June ACT is the easiest, or the April ACT is the hardest, or the September ACT is the easiest, or the December is the hardest, or something like that. And I do think it is true that sometimes there are some ACTs that are a little bit easier, one compared to another or something like that, but we only know that in hindsight. There's no way for you to predict in the future which ones are easier. And here's another thing, even if it were true, the ACT uses different grading scales for different tests. So on one test, if you got, let's say, 60 English questions right out of 75, that might net you a 28, which is pretty good. But on an easier test, if you get 60 out of 75 right, that might net you a 26 in ACT English. So the moral of the story is this. The students who actually prepare in the right kind of way, that they learn the math, they learn the English, they learn the reading for now, they learn the science, they know the strategies for those things to actually improve incrementally in that kind of way, are the ones who actually improve on the ACT, not the ones who go and memorize a bunch of gimmicks. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment below letting me know, what do you want to know about the ACT? What do you think is the most difficult? God bless.